Hi guys. So last weekend I went to the Girlboss Rally in LA, and honestly I had no idea what Girlboss was until like a few months ago. My roommate here in San Francisco asked me if I wanted to go to this conference with her, and I was like very hesitant at first because honestly it's pretty expensive. Tickets are like $500. But I decided to just make the investment and really try and like get all that I could out of this conference. So I came back with a notebook full of notes and stuff. And if you guys don't know what the Girl Boss Rally is it's like a big female empowerment conference for girl bosses. It's very geared toward entrepreneurs, like female business owners, but it's also has a lot of really good workshops and talks and advice on financials, on social media, on confidence building, public speaking, stuff like that. So it's a pretty well-rounded conference. So the workshops that I went to a couple money management ones. There was a debt versus savings, which is very applicable for me. I'm paying off student loans right now, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. So there was that one. There was like making a budget for yourself. There was one on investing and if you should be investing, how to invest. So that one was really helpful. I also went to just like a general Instagram one. I went to one specifically on Instagram stories. I went to a couple influencer marketing workshops, but I'm mostly going to talk about money stuff and social media stuff. Okay, so for money stuff, investing. So over the course of your lifetime, according to, I don't even remember what the speaker's name now. I should have looked that up before I started this video. But people who don't invest, that's potentially losing like $100,000 to $150,000 that you will miss out in your lifetime if you're not investing that. And investing can be really scary. But if you look at like the stock market in general, as like over the course of like history, yes, specific like certain stocks have gone up and down and they'll like go up and down really quickly. But the stock market in general is like very safe and there's lots of ways to invest. It's not just stocks. So you can like if you don't want it to be so like up and down, then just like don't even invest in stocks. You can invest in other things. I kind of didn't know a lot about investing. I have an account with Edward Jones, so I just automatically move $200 a month into my Edward Jones account and they kind of do the investing for me. But almost $100,000 that you could miss out on if you're not investing, so that's a lot of money. And so investing honestly isn't as risky as we think it is. You kind of have to think about when you're going to need this money next. If you're planning to buy a house in 5 years, then you probably wouldn't want to put a ton of money into a risky investment because there's a chance that you could lose money within 5 years. But if you're thinking long term, okay, I want, like myself, I probably won't be buying a house in 5 years, but in like 10 years, 15 years, I definitely want to be buying a house. So I could make it like invest my money in something that's a little more risky because yeah, it'll go up and down and I might lose money at first, but if it's 10 years from now, that'll grow and I'll make more money than if I had just put it in something that's less or that's more safe, but it wouldn't grow as much. So you have to think about like what you're investing for and when you're going to need that money. What else? So these were kind of like some percents that I found interesting. I'd never had like my take-home pay kind of broken down for me. So I know like exactly how much give or take how much I make per month. So 50% of that should be going towards your needs. So like I have a budget on an Excel sheet that says, you know, this is my rent, this is utilities, Wi-Fi, gym membership, insurance, like all of that stuff. And this is what I for sure will need each month. So 50% of my income about will go toward that. 30% is fun stuff for me, that's traveling. And then 20% of your take home pay, so this is after taxes, should be going toward investing. So that's a lot, especially for somebody who, I'm only a year out of college. Right now, it might only be like 1% of your take home pay that is going into investing, but that's something. Like, even just to get that account started is really good. So even if you can only do 1% of your take home pay, still do it because it'll help you out in the long run. Okay, and then the other thing that I found really helpful was this buckets. There's 4 buckets that was kind of broken down to me. So bucket number 1 is, and these are buckets of savings. So bucket number 1 is an emergency fund. So that's something like a medical emergency. If you own a house, the roof caves in, stuff like that, that like true emergencies. You live out of town and your grandpa dies, and so you have to like go back, buy a last minute expensive plane ticket back home. So stuff like that. So you should have 1 month of your like actual monthly needs. So say if all of your bills and stuff combined are like $2,000 a month, then you should have at least $2,000 in a completely liquid account. So just like a savings account that you can take out at any time. So for emergencies. So that's bucket number 1. Bucket number 2 is 3 months of your pay, or 3 months also of your needs. So again, if your actual needs each month, your bills each month are $2,000, then you should have $6,000 for more like longer term emergencies. That's like if you lose your job, then you have 3 months to get you through until you find another job. Kind of like buffer money in case anything were to happen. So that's bucket number 2. Bucket number 3 is a retirement fund. If you work at a company like in a corporate job, a lot of people will do match retirement. So however much you save, they'll match it. If you don't have that luxury, I do not have that luxury because I'm self-employed, so I need to open an IRA, so just like my own savings account. I need to do that. I haven't done that yet, but that's like my next thing. And so you should also be going through all these buckets like in order, in chronological order. So first save your 1 month pay for emergencies. Then second, once you have all of that set away in a bank account, then save your 3 months pay for buffer, set that away, and then you can start saving for retirement. And then obviously a retirement is a very long-term goal, so the buckets 3 and 4 kind of are simultaneous. So once you open a retirement account, kind of start that up, then you can start bucket number 4, which is other long-term goals. So that can be things like buying a house, buying a car, if you're starting a family, like saving up for having a baby, saving up for weddings, stuff like that. So those are the 4 buckets of saving. Then we also have debt. So for complete transparency, I have about $24,000 in student loans that I'm paying off. So if you have a ton of debt that you're dealing with, like look at the percentage of interest rates, and literally just start with the first one, or the highest one, sorry. Pay off that one, next go to like the second highest one, and just like go down from there.